back. So, the Chargers sit on top of the AFC West alone for the first time in, I don't know, decades. Maybe forever. The Chiefs are at the bottom of the barrel. Disgusting losers. And there's a whole bunch of interesting beatdowns that went down on week 2. So, let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, I heard a thing on my ears, and I don't know if it was you or me, but hopefully everything is okay. If there's any issue with the audio, please let us know. Eric, how you doing, buddy? Chuck Dominguez says that it's been forever. It's the first time in forever.
Also, is the sound that you heard this?
No,
did you hear that?
I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming it wasn't you. It was like a doo-doo-doo.
Okay.
I don't know. It could have been something
That's the Discord sound.
Then, you know what? I don't know. But anyway, NFL Week 2 has come and gone. And you know what? Now things are starting to get a little clearer for certain teams. We now get a better idea of where teams stand. And also things get a lot more confusing for other teams. Like, I don't know what the hell to do with the Colts. I'm not sure what they are. But we'll discuss everything. We'll go through every single game. We'll try to do it quickly. We'll try to be out of here kind of like 10. Because I've been up since 3, and I'm tired, and I'm sleepy.
I know exactly what the Colts are. They are winners.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Anyway, let's get into it. So, before we get into it, quick reminder, like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, all that good stuff. If we reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of these 2025 NFL season, I'm going to do something. I still haven't thought of something that's cool enough. Because it's a ridiculous number. Like, it's a seriously ridiculous number, so it has to be something truly ridiculous. So, I don't know. Like, shaving my head doesn't feel like enough. So, I don't know. We need to figure that out. By the way, how's the pick?
How about you will run 10,000 kilometers?
Run 10,000 kilometers.
Right.
Do you have any idea how much that is? That's like from here to New York. It's for something ridiculous.
10,000 steps.
10,000 steps is a little bit more doable. I'll think about it.
We will recreate all of 10,000 days by Tool.
Listen, I'll think about it, because that's not completely insane. I just don't think I can do it in a day. But all right, let's get into it. So Thursday night football. Let me get this on the big one. So Thursday night football. Oh, by the way, NFL picks page. If you want to be a part of our league. How are we doing right now, Eric? Have you checked it, or we want to wait for that until what happened? Is the camera messing up with you again?
Yes, it is. I need a new cable for it.
All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As long as we can hear you.
I think the sunglasses thing. This thing is too dark.
If anybody wants to join our league, it's NFLPicksPage.com. The pool's name is SDW League. Password SDW2025. We'll get more into that when we do our picks show. But let's get started. Thursday night football. The Packers hosting the Washington Commanders. And the Packers having one of the better color rush uniforms. Like, the white looks really cool. They dominated the Commanders 18-27. This man right here, Micah Parsons, he good. The defense for the Green Bay Packers is not fair. Like, now we're starting to see a pattern here. They've completely and totally dominated 2 playoff teams from last year. All right, their defense kept 2 high-powered offense from last season under control. Some might say they embarrassed them, and I would kind of agree. So they kept the Commanders to 179 total pass yards, 51 total rush yards, and sacked Jaden Daniels 4 times, which leads me to Jaden Daniels maybe being injured. So supposedly he has a knee sprain. He's day-to-day. He might not play this weekend. We will keep monitoring that. On the other side of the field, quarterback Jaden Daniels looked pretty good. I'm sorry, Jordan Love looked pretty good. 19 out of 31, 292 yards, 2 TDs. So he did all right.
Also, apparently Austin Eckler is out for the season.
Yes.
With a torn Achilles.
Another big injury of this game. Austin Eckler out for the season, Achilles. And Wide receiver Jaden Reed on IR with a broken collarbone. He's looking for a possible November return. And Chuck Dominguez says that I could dye my hair pink. So it's an option. Actually, that was our bet last year. You just want to redo that. So whoever wins the picks league.
Dies?
Yes. Their hair pink.
Their hair pink.
Yeah. Whoever loses the picks league has to dye their hair pink.
No, we already did that gag.
All right, fine. We'll think of another gag. But it has to be soon.
Relatively speaking.
We just we don't give this thing enough time. Anyway, let's get what else? So the stars of this game obviously were tight end Tucker Kraft, who had 6 receptions for 124 yards and 1 TD, and Josh Jacobs extends his streak of another game with a touchdown, 23 rushes, 48 yards. I believe now he's up to 9. So good for him. And great for the Raiders for letting that man leave. And like I said, yeah, the Commanders didn't do much. Jaden Daniels, 24 out of 42, 200 yards, 2 TD, was pedestrian. I would describe him as. And he was also the team lead rusher with 7 rushes for 17 yards. So the Packers look scary, man. Very, very scary, particularly that defense. Which is, again, what the fuck were the Cowboys thinking? But, whatever. It's all the way out in the NFC, so who gives a shit? Cuz Becerra says, eat a whole container of Hot Ones Pringles. I don't know. Dye your hair and facial hair pink. I'm gonna shave. I'm probably not gonna keep it again, but I guess it's an option. Let's continue with the. Oh, do you have any thoughts on this game? Do you even watch it?
I saw the highlights.
It's not the same, but anyway, let's continue. Bengals surviving the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bengals are 2-0 for the first time. For the first time in a very long time. The big news from this game: quarterback Joe Burrow out.
Called a Pyrrhic victory, my friend.
Yep. Grade 3 turf toe. He will need surgery and will likely be out for 3 months. That means that in the best case scenario, he will be missing 11 games. Now, if they find a way to go 5-6 in those 11 games, they still have a shot. And that's assuming that Joe Burrow comes back, ready to roll. But yeah, this does not look good for the Bengals. They're just cursed. Or maybe, Joe Burrow's injury prone. Or maybe he doesn't have an O-line to protect him. Either way.
Yeah, maybe they played stupid games and won stupid prizes.
You know what? Maybe. It's possible. Some might say it's a probability. Others might say it's a possibility. Who knows? David Martinez, what's up, guys? I finally get to watch you live. Bolt the fuck up. Hell's freaking yeah, David. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. So now,
you think they'll try to get Kirk?
Oh, no. Are you kidding me? No. Why would they?
I mean, this is the first time they've started 2-0 maybe ever, right?
Listen, Jake.
Want to keep that momentum.
Jake Browning, in spite of trying to lose that game on Sunday, has been serviceable for them before. I mean, he did have 21 for 32, 241 yards, 2 TDs, 2 INTs. So they have won games with Jake Browning. All right, he can win for them. He also does
have one of the best receiving cores in the NFL.
Exactly. So he already knows the scheme, already has chemistry with the receivers. If you bring in Kirk, are you going to bring in Kirk as a backup or as a player? Are he's going to be replacing Jake? I don't know. I think it's too soon. Let me see the Bengals schedule real quick, because that is also a factor. Bengals schedule. All right, so they have the Vikings this weekend, which should be interesting considering that J.J. McCarthy's also out. Then they have the Broncos, Lions, Packers, Steelers, Jets. That's the first winnable, 100%. Bears winnable. Steelers, both of those are coin flips. Patriots is winnable. Ravens, and then in December, which would be kind of the window for Joe Burrow, would be Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. I mean, I don't like their odds against the Lions, the Packers, Ravens twice, Bills. Every other game could be winnable. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what you do in this situation.
Maybe lucky wild card entry.
I mean, look at it this way.
At the most.
So it's 11 games. They walk away with 5. That would bring them to 7-6. That's not terrible. Let's say they walk away with 4. That leaves them at 6-7. No, 6. Yeah, 6-7. And still 5 more games to go. Or 4. So they could still end up with double-digit wins. I don't know, man. It's just... Oh, Gus Becerra says he has Joe Burrow in his fantasy and JJ McCarthy as his backup.
Oh, what would you have, JJ?
So it's your fault, huh? It's your fault, Gus. You jinxed them. Anyway, let's continue. Jamar Chase, still phenomenal. He was quarterback proof. 4 receptions, 165 yards, 1 TD. And on the other side of the field, Trevor Lawrence sucks, man. he had a play that, check this out. So he was running for his life. He was running to the sideline, and he ends up throwing the ball while he was past the line of scrimmage. So it's hard for anybody to see it here, so I put a circle on it. That's Trevor Lawrence. The line of scrimmage is back here. So in case you can't see it, I highlighted it. That's the line of scrimmage. So, and he's running. He can see the sticks. He had to see the sticks. So he's a good 1, 2, at least 3 yards.
Maybe he thought the first down was the yeah, line of scrimmage.
I mean, I don't know. This is like beyond rookie stuff. I mean, look at it. It's right there. How can he not see it? That's beyond.
He's colorblind.
And you have his head coach just screaming at him like, throw the ball to chest. So the wide receivers. Then you have freaking Brian Thomas Jr. just dropping balls left and right, not wanting to get hit. Things are looking bad in Jacksonville. Like, they had the perfect opportunity to sneak one out from the Bengals. Like, you have the big boogeyman out, Joe Burrow, for half the game, and you couldn't come up with the W. Jesus Christ. Clown town to the max. Things are not going good. All right, that's my humble opinion. In spite of, them having a reasonably good rushing game, but still, I don't know how the Jaguars can look themselves in the mirror after losing this one. It was really bad and really funny. Anyway, next, probably the most exciting game of the weekend. As expected, the Giants visiting the Dallas Cowboys. 37-40 in overtime. This game was bonkers. We had the first ever player that had 4 penalties on one drive. And then he got benched. And then he started yelling at his head coach. And one of the penalties was this fucking play. Check it out. Hopefully this works. Boom! Just straight up, boom! Smacks the edge run.
He's smacking one another this season.
I have no idea, but that's just hysterical because it works. All right, that technique. That's why it's not allowed, because apparently smacking the hell out of people works. Jesus Christ! And James Hudson III. That was hysterical. Like it's one of those things you're like, of course the Giants did this. They're a bunch of clowns. I think they had like 26 picks. I'm sorry, not 26 flags in this game total, and they had like 4 flags in a single play, and they all offset, so there wasn't a single flag. It's just, it was insanity. It was insanity. Freaking, how we said that Russell Wilson was dead. 30 for 41, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then an interception in overtime that kind of, led to them losing the game. But Jesus Christ, man, Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards. It's nuts. And it turns out that those wide receivers, they're pretty good. Malik Neighbors, 9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 TDs. Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a TD. Jesus Christ. And they still lost. What the hell is this Cowboys defense? What the hell is the Giants defense? I thought they were good. On the other side
this
of the
is
field, Well, what?
This is one of those games that is a very good example of we don't know shit about fuck.
Oh, definitely.
Because I completely discounted the Giants last week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. While I was watching it, I had it on, but it wasn't the game. One of the games that I was watching. I just kept turning every once in a while. I was like, holy shit, what's happening? Dak Prescott, 38 out of 52, 361 yards, 2 TDs, and an INT. It was nuts. It was nuts. CeeDee Lamb's 9 receptions for 112 yards. George Pickens, 5 receptions for 68 yards. So they're starting to get Pickens going. So that's a good thing. Javonte Williams, 18 rushes for 97 yards and 1 touchdown, 6 receptions for 33 yards. You know what's really funny about this? Apparently, Javonte Williams is a pretty decent running back that the Broncos didn't know how to use. And apparently, Russell Wilson is still a pretty good quarterback that the Broncos did not know how to use. So that's just, that's just the cherry on top. It was a lot of fun to watch that. Let me see. Gus Becerra says, oh yeah, I have Brian Thomas Jr. as well.
Why you got so many quarterbacks, bro?
Dude, no, Brian Thomas Jr. is the wide receiver that I told you that was dropping every single pass. Yeah, you might just want to call it quits this season, Gus. Or clearly just, it's not your year. The star of the game, of course, was Brandon Aubrey, kicker, who had a 64-yard field goal to tie the game and send it to overtime. And then in overtime, with zeros on the clock, had a 60-yard field goal to win it. It's probably the most exciting 2 kicks I've ever seen in a game. Wild stuff. Wild freaking stuff. And I never thought I would say that about the Cowboys or the Giants this season. I expected them to be as boring as hell. Clearly, I was wrong. Also, a bit of news. The Cowboys have officially signed edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney for 1 year. So, good for him, I guess. Anyway, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was thinking I wanted to bring in a fun fact that I got from ChatGPT.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, give me like a fun NFL fact.
All right.
Something I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL has never had a team that starts 0-2 and then that goes on to win the Super Bowl, except one team.
Okay. Patriots?
Which one?
Patriots? No. Steelers?
No.
Dolphins?
No.
Packers?
No.
Chiefs?
I'll make it easier. They played the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
Okay. Eagles?
No.
Who else beat the Patriots? Oh, the Giants.
The New Jersey Football Giants.
Okay. Well,
yes, indeed.
Then this is their year, clearly. Next, one of the biggest beatdowns.
I try to make it easy to guess by mentioning that fun fact when we were talking about the Giants.
I thought that was too obvious.
I played myself.
Anyway, the biggest beatdown of the weekend came courtesy of the Detroit Lions smacking the ever-living hell out of Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears 21-52. 21-52. Holy crap. This was supposed to be kind of like a homecoming game for Ben Johnson. You know, he used to be the coordinator for the Detroit Lions. The Lions offense did not look that great against the Packers, and they just smacked the ever-living hell out of the Bears. It was honestly pretty funny. You have...
welcome home, bitch.
You have Sonic and Knuckles back in action. Jameer Gibbs, 12 rushes for 94 yards and a TD, plus 3 receptions for 10 yards. Montgomery, 11 rushes for 57 yards and a TD, another reception for 4 yards. Jared Goff, 23 out of 28 for 344 yards and 5 touchdowns. The man could not miss. And also, the Sun God, 9 receptions for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. Plus, Williams, 2 receptions for 108 yards. So this was just a schmacking, a shellacking. It was honestly kind of sad to see. And they even asked Ben Johnson at the end of the game, hey, do you think they were running up the score? And he was like, no, it's just what they do in Detroit. They don't go for it. They don't do field goals. They go for it on 4th down. And so
they're psychopaths.
Yeah, clearly. Also, the defense, 4 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovered. Now, so how did Caleb Williams look? He was 19 out of 30, 207 yards, 2 TDs, plus 5 rushes for 27 yards. Caleb Williams looked really good in like the 10 to 15 scripted plays at the beginning of the game. So the first drive. After that, he looked fucking terrible. So it's one of those things where you're like, all right, well, when he's on script, he's really good. So the script writer's kind of good, meaning Ben Johnson. The issue is the rest of the game. So Ben Johnson needs to figure out a way to script the entire game, and he'll win. That's it. That's the solution. And as far as the defense goes, I don't know. Maybe I thought they were going to be better with Dennis Allen. Turns out, nah, not so much. Or also, you know, the Lions were kind of pissed because they got embarrassed last week, and they wanted to take it out on somebody, and the Bears just happened to be there. So, I don't know. How do you see it?
I see it as God was angry at the Pope for some reason, because it was his birthday when they got their ass kicked, and he's a Bears fan.
That just makes it funnier. Yeah. Next. Let's see. The one good part of the Bears, Remo Odunze looked pretty good. 7 receptions, 128 yards, 2 TDs. So, all right. Good for him. Next, we have the LA Rams. Kind of. I don't want to say they dominated the Titans, because the Titans were actually in this game. They kept it pretty close until they didn't. So the first half, I'd say, was well within range. I think the final quarter is when they got out of control. Matthew Stafford, 23 out of 33, 298, 2 TDs. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Puka Nacua, 9 receptions for 91 yards and 1 rush for 45 yards and a TD. So he's clearly their second best rusher in that team. And Devontae Adams, 6 receptions for 106 yards and 1 TD. So those two are starting to get going. That's actually a very dangerous 1-2 punch for receivers 1-2. I don't like it. I think it's bad, but whatever. Cam Ward, 19 out of 33, 175 yards and a touchdown. Did you see his touchdown?
For Cam?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
He did absolutely everything they tell you not to do. So you know what they're saying? When you're running to the right, do not throw across the field to the left.
Right.
That was his first touchdown. So it was one of those like, listen, if it works, cool. He also got sacked.
Go do it again.
He also got sacked 5 times. So that honestly, very bad first and second game for that kid. But he managed to not look disgustingly bad. So there's hope for him yet, if you know that O-line doesn't get him killed first. Next, honestly, the surprise of the weekend, in the terms of how funny it was, the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. This game had probably the best back-to-back plays I've seen ever, because I wanted the Miami Dolphins to win because I picked them to win. And so it was convenient for them to win. Then the Dolphins were under pretty much the entire game until one kid, Malik something, I think Washington, rookie, wide receiver, returned a punt for a touchdown. And I was like, yes, they turned it around. Okay, very next play, kickoff, Gibson of the Patriots returns it for a touchdown. So it was like back-to-back special teams plays, goes to the house, and I was like, of fucking course. Of course, that it's one of those seasons for the Dolphins, and honestly, it's hysterical. I don't know if you saw the press conference for Mike McDonald's, but he's going, not viral, but I've seen the clip going around that basically he's saying something like, he looks like his soul is dead. He's saying like, well, you can't win the game if you don't win the game, and you'll lose the game. So something very beyond stupid. Like clearly he's just not there anymore. Like he can't believe it. So it's sad, but it's also very funny. Let's see, Turgay Kaglar. I don't know how you say that. Hi all, happy stream. I lost Burrow in 6 of my leagues. I had so much hope that he was gonna be QB1. Dude. First off, how do you play in 16 leagues? Holy crap. I was doing...
There was a season... There was a season where we had 2 leagues and my heart was not in one.
Yeah, no, you just didn't care. Like, I don't know how you do it. And I hope you don't have money in those 6, because Jesus Christ, that's brutal. I feel for you, man. That sucks. But anyway, so yeah, Patriots win. Nobody really looked great here. Drake May looked a little bit better than last week, but not that much. 19 out of 23, 230 yards, 2 TDs. So I still don't know what either of these two teams are, besides, funny losers. Next, the San Francisco 49ers visit the New Orleans Saints and survive with Mac Jones under the helm. So Mac Jones, by the way, Brock Purdy apparently will be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks with a toe injury. This is like a less severe version of what Joe Burrow has, so he won't need surgery, but still, yeesh, sucks. Anyway, Mac Jones, 26 out of 39, 279 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So I've heard that a lot of people are saying, like, why did you guys play Brock Purdy all that money? Which, fair. Christian McCaffrey looked pretty good. 13 rushes for 55 yards, 6 receptions, 52 yards for 1 touchdown. So, I wanted to say that they're easing them in there, but they're just throwing them in the deep end. So he's looking okay. Good for him. On the other side of the field, Spencer Rattler, 25 out of 34, 207 yards with 3 TDs. He's looking better than I expected. Like, the Saints in general are not looking anywhere near as bad as I thought they would. So good on them. Also, 49ers defense looking pretty good. 3 sacks and a fumble recovered. So it's having Robert Saleh completely changes that team. In spite of being so injured, they are still, winning games. I wouldn't say comfortably, but they're winning them. So, good on them. Next, another division beatdown. You got the Bills visiting the New Jersey Jets and laying the smackdown 30-10. This game was probably never in dispute. Josh Allen had a terrible game, a disgustingly bad game. One of the worst games I've ever seen him play, and he still, beat him by 20 points. So 3 scores. 14 out of 25, 148 yards, 6 rushes for 59 yards, which is pedestrian for him. And they also maybe broke his nose. I don't think it's clear yet, but yeah. He was just bleeding all over the place. We actually saw Mitch Trubisky come in for a drive, a couple plays. So, in case you were wondering where Mitch Trubisky was, what?
Golden Mitch?
Yep, he's with the Bills. So, the star of this game was, of course, running back James Cook, 21 rushes for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. The big news of this game, other than the Jets are not for real like we thought against, how they look against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterback Justin Fields is in the concussion protocol. He got injured by Joey Bosa, strip sacking him actually. So it's not clear what is going to happen. I don't think they haven't confirmed if it's a concussion yet. So we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, your man Tyrod Taylor took over.
Oh shit!
Tyrod
the
Taylor.
Villain.
Yep. He took over. He went 7 for 11, 56 yards and 1 TD. So honestly, he probably looked better. Justin Fields was 3 for 11 for 27 yards. 3 for 11. He got injured in the 4th quarter, man. 4th quarter. And 3 for 11 for 27 yards. That's nuts. Mitch Trubisky was in for 2 plays, and I think he has more passing yards. It's crazy. But also, he got sacked 4 times, and they went 0 for 11 on 3rd downs. So that Bills defense, either they're starting to get better or the Jets just suck. So both are equally possible, I guess.
I would say it's more the latter.
It's more probable, yeah.
I do say so myself.
Next, the Pittsburgh Steelers lose one at home to the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold looked a little bit better this game. 22 out of 33, 295 yards, 2 TDs, 2 INTs, got sacked twice. The receivers, though, looking pretty good. Cooper Kupp, 7 for 90 yards. Jackson Smith and Njigba, 8 receptions for 103 yards. And Kenneth Walker, 13 rushes for 105 yards, 1 TD. So, they're starting to get that offense going. Or again, I guess the story of this game is that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense kind of sucks. It's been 2 games in a row where they just run all over them. So it's crazy. TJ Watt, I guess. TJ Watt still doesn't have a sack. Aaron Rodgers was bleh. 18 out of 33, 203 yards, 1 TD, 2 INTs, 3 sacks. But the moment that this game was lost was when rookie Caleb Johnson fucked up a kickoff return that gave the Seahawks a free touchdown. So I don't know if you know this, but the new rule, one of the new kickoff rules is that if the ball falls in the landing zone, you need to basically, if you're the receiving team, you need to fall on the ball. All right? That way, that stops the play. If the other team gets the ball, it's their ball. So this ball ended up, it fell in the landing zone. This guy managed to dodge it, and he was like, all right, cool, whatever. And he started running off the field. The Seahawks players followed the ball. It was in the end zone, landed on top of it, automatic touchdown. So it was, for an organization that's been buttoned up for such a long time, I'm starting to get concerned, because this is starting to feel kind of like the Aaron Rodgers effect in New Jersey. I don't know what happened there, but that kid, oh my God. I can imagine just Tomlin just throwing stuff at him. Like, you motherfucker. That completely changed the dynamic of the game. Just completely changed it. So
yeah, I saw, and apparently I think they're gonna bench that guy from returning kicks for the next couple weeks.
I don't know how they don't. I honestly do not know how they. I would have cut him probably. Turley Kaglar, hey, had a good defense last season. What happened to the Pitts defense? Did they lose a player? Well, they're the oldest defense in the league, I think, and the most expensive one too. So they're not holding up their end of the bargain. At least I don't think. But anyway, is the Commanders' defense older?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking up.
It's either one of those two. But anyway, I don't know what happened. Because again, usually Tomlin is a pretty good defensive coach. But things are not looking good in Pittsburgh at all. But they're fun to watch.
The oldest one is the Washington Commanders.
Okay, there you go. So the oldest one in the AFC? You got ChatGPT there. Also, Aaron sucks. Please retire already. Aaron Rodgers is not the reason why they're losing games. The reason why they're losing games is the defense ain't stopping nosebleeds. So, still, yeah, he's seen better days. I agree. Next.
Okay, apparently, the oldest defense... What? The team whose defense as starters is the oldest is the Minnesota Vikings. Among AFC teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the oldest, and the Washington Commanders have the oldest average roster on the NFC.
Okay.
Why would I care about the average? I care about the starters.
I don't know, because I don't know. Next, another beatdown. The Cleveland Browns go get their asses kicked against the kind of pissed off Baltimore Ravens. 17-41. I'll give the Browns credit. They held Derrick Henry to 23 yards and 11 rushes. That is impressive. Good on you guys. Honestly, I did not think that was possible. Also, fuck you guys. I have Derrick Henry in my fantasy. So, fuck you. Fuck you, Cleveland.
You lost, right?
What? Oh, I got my ass kicked. Dude, Josh Allen is my quarterback. He did nothing. Derrick Henry is my running back. He did nothing. I don't even want to check the rest of the team. I think Mike Evans did nothing. So the defense, I think, was okay. I had the Rams defense. He did 8 points. Butker did nothing, but that one I didn't hate. It's like, it's all right. Cool. Anyway, they managed to keep them to 45 rush yards, I guess. However, they forgot about one man named Lamar Jackson, and he just went to town. 19 out of 29, 225 yards, 4 TDs, 2 rushes for 13 yards. He had a pretty good day. At one point this game was a little bit concerning, and then the Ravens just started laying the schmack down, and it wasn't even close. It was honestly kind of sad. Joe Flacco got sacked twice, 1 interception, and the Ravens got another fumble recovered. So this is kind of like, this just tells the story of the game right here. If you're looking at this image of Joe Flacco face down with a big Raven defender right on top of him. So
How you gonna do that to my boy Joe?
I mean, welcome back, man who won us a Super Bowl.
Man.
That's what you treat him. By the way, Dylan Gabriel saw the field for the first time. This is one of their 3rd round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. He went 3 for 3, 19 yards and a touchdown. So, good for his debut in garbage time. Good on him. Anyway, next.
If he never does anything else, at least he had that NFL TD.
Exactly. Against the Ravens, divisional rival.
And a perfect passer thing, right?
Exactly. The most what the fuck and hell yeah game of the week. We have the Broncos losing. Getting embarrassed. Actually, no, not getting embarrassed. By the Indianapolis Colts. Hells yeah. 28-29 in the Loud House. The Colts, Indiana Jones went 23-34, 316 yards and a TD against the no-fly zone in Denver. Patrick Surtain and whatever that other idiot they drafted in the first round, and only had a single sack. The most dangerous pass rush in the NFL. Actually, I don't want to instigate these guys because our team goes against them this week. But still, they're losers. What's this man? Jonathan Taylor. Where is he? I have an image of him. Jonathan Taylor, 25 rushes for 165 yards. Ran the ball down your throats. 2 receptions for 50 yards and 1 TD. Tyler Warren, 4 receptions for 79 yards. He was actually the receiving leader for the game for 79 yards. But yeah, you know what? Still, the star of the game probably was the refs, kind of. This game came down to the wire. The Broncos had an opportunity to go up by, I think it was 5, and their kicker missed their kick, like a 40-yarder. And so Colts get another shot. They move the ball down the field. They make the most odd choice for a sequence of plays because they're kind of at a 60-yard field goal, and then they just run it against the wall 4 times. It was like 3 times. It was weird. Instead of trying to actually move the ball, I don't know what the fuck Shane Steichen was thinking. Maybe he wanted to lose. I don't know. But 60-yard field goal, and they miss. However, flag is thrown for a penalty I had never heard of in my entire life. But apparently, it's called leverage. And apparently, you can't use a player from the kicking team's body to jump over them to get elevation. I guess that's how that works. It's a personal foul, 15-yard penalty. Colts kick again from 45 yards, right between the sticks. Colts win, go to 2-0, and the Donkeys go home. It was beautiful.
It was. I hated that noise, by the way. And that is my kicker right there, giving me all of the points. I love him.
How the hell did you even know about this guy? How the hell? Oh, well, yeah, he had a bunch of field goals in first. It makes sense now that I think about it.
I think he was ranked number 1.
Yeah. If you want, like a bright spot, Bo Nix looked better, Chuck. If you're looking for bright spot, 20 out of 30, 206 yards, 3 TDs, 1 INT, 3 rushes for 20 yards. So the offense looked better. J.K. Dobbins, 14 rushes for 76 yards and a TD. Also, you could argue that J.K. Dobbins is the reason why they lost this game. Because he spiked the ball and he got a flag, and that's kind of what made them... You could argue that's the reason why they missed the field goal. I don't know. So my boy J.K. still doing good for us. Troy Franklin looked good. Wide receiver, 8 receptions for 89 yards and 1 TD. But yeah, Donkeys lose go home crying, tail between their legs. Good. Next.
I wouldn't say it was J.K. Dobbins' fault. I would say it's generally just, Denver's association with Satan.
Sure. The defense thing is interesting. So, what's closer to reality? Is the Broncos defense not as good as advertised, or are the Colts for real? Like, is the O-line that good? Is Indiana Jones an MVP candidate? Still too early to tell, but it's getting more and more interesting as time goes on, because the Colts did lay down a smackdown against the Miami Dolphins, and they managed to survive the Broncos. So, what do you think? What do you think is closer to the truth? Denver defense not as good, or Colts offense for real?
On the one hand, I want to think that the Broncos just suck.
Of course.
On the other hand, I kind of like the idea of Indiana Jones. I'm one of those. I love a good comeback story for a quarterback. Like last year when Sam Darnold was having all that success in Minnesota.
Sure. I
always like it when a guy goes to or Baker, one of my favorites right now.
Fair enough. It's to me it makes me happy that Giants fans have to look at him have success and suffer. Because Danny Dimes is 2-0. The Giants are 0-2. That just tickles me. Anyway, next, the Arizona Cardinals surviving the Carolina Panthers 22-27. This game was weird because the Cardinals kind of had control the entire time, and then at the end, it looked kind of like they wanted to lose. It was bizarre. It's the second week in a row that they've done this. The Cardinals need to learn how to close out games. But, I mean, they mostly look good. Kyler Murray, 17-25, 220 yards, 1 TD. Trey McBride, 6 receptions for 78 yards. It was, I don't know. Do the Carolina Panthers need to turn it on faster? Or the Commanders just, need to learn how to actually close out games better? Like, I mean, they did win both of them. It's just they made it way, way too uncomfortable for their fans, probably. But anyway, Bryce Young, 35 out of 55, 228 yards, 3 TDs, which is not bad. However, he did get sacked 3 times through an INT, and the Cardinals also got a fumble recovery. So there you go. If you're
just completely middle of the road, if you ask me.
The Cardinals?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. However, if you're looking for a bright spot, wide receiver Tech McMillan, looking pretty good. 6 receptions for 100 yards, so good for him. Next, the most glorious and beautiful game of the weekend. We have the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
For the second time in 2025.
Making the Chiefs fall all the way to the basement of the AFC West. 0-2. 0-2. For the first time, and honestly, God knows how long. It's been forever, I think. But
what are they playing?
Next, they play the Giants, so it should be a get right game for them. Or the funniest game of all time. So we'll see. Jalen Hurts, 15 out of 22, 101 yards, and 9 rushes for 15 yards, 2 sacks. Saquon Barkley, 22 rushes for 88 yards, 1 TD, 2 receptions for 6 yards. So the offense for the Eagles did not look great. However, the freaking tush push is starting to piss people off. I think it's overstated its welcome officially. Even the announcers were like, dude, it's really hard to officiate. They're clearly jumping before they should. They don't like it. And so if the announcers... What?
How are they jumping before they should?
So let's say the guard starts moving before the center moves the ball. which is, a penalty. However, they're all so packed in tight together. I think it's really hard for the officials to see it. And again, it's really quick, and it's a bunch of bodies all over each other. So I would not be surprised if it doesn't survive the season. Let's just say that. The funniest moment of this game actually came out all the way at the end when Chris Jones started smack talking Jalen Hurts, and he said, and I quote, "You didn't even have 100 yards," which is incorrect. He had 101. And Jalen Hurts said, "We won the fucking game. Shut your ass up." Which, honestly, Chris Jones, respect for having the balls to trash talk somebody as they're kneeling to win the fucking game. How? Jesus Christ.
To be fair, if he said it during this picture.
Yeah, it was kind of at this point. Like, they were about to kneel.
That is probably the safest position he could have been in to say that.
Maybe. I don't know. What was he thinking? But anyway, also, another really funny moment, Travis Kelce giving the game away. So, they threw a pass that should have been a touchdown. However, he deflected the ball to an Eagles defender, and he ran it back for I don't know how many yards, like half the field.
Fucking quick. That boy was booking it.
Yeah, they were very close to maybe turning it around. However, they don't have they don't have it anymore. Travis Kelce is washed. He's an old man out there. He looks confused. He's killing his teammates out there. It's actually really funny to see because what have we always said about Travis Kelce accidentally, and it then turned out to be kind of true?
He's a piece of shit?
No. He's the biggest piece of shit in the NFL. That's what we've always said. By the way, for those of you who don't know, we started saying that kind of for fun, and it just kind of became a thing. Like,
yeah, come on, we're Chargers fans. We've had to suffer this guy for a while.
Dude, I don't know why we started calling him a piece of shit. And I remember Kareem Hunt, the wife beater, is in that team. And we're like, and still the biggest piece of shit in that team was Travis Kelce. So we started
even when Tyreek was there.
Yeah. So, Rashee Rice is in that team, and it's still like, there are a bunch of criminals out there. But anyway.
Ray Lewis killed a man, and I still like him more.
Anyway, Patrick Mahomes, 16 out of 29, 187 yards, 1 TD, 7 rushes for 66 yards. Leading rusher for their team, got sacked twice and threw an ENT. Another funny moment, courtesy of Travis Kelce, was this one. This is apparently the shirt he was wearing before the game. Check it out. You see something there?
3, 4.
Yeah. Free Rashee Rice. Like, the league had it out for Rashee Rice and suspended him for no reason. The man crashed a vehicle and fled the scene because he was driving like 100 miles an hour. Like, he put other people's lives in danger. Like, if there's a reason to suspend anybody more than the entire season, that's one of those. So it's like, how stupid and tone deaf can this guy be? Also, now, this would have been actually pretty funny if he's like at a charity thing giving out food, and so he has a free Rice shirt. That would have been funny, but not in this situation. It's just weird. It's just one of those things. Like, yeah, of course you want Rashee Rice there because he would have caught that ball and not handed it over to the freaking Eagles and gotten your ass kicked. So it's just great to see them fall finally. And right now, like, what are their options? They have no options for a while. Like, even their best players don't really look that great anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to last. This may be their last bad game of the season, but I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of it. So, while I can, because, they have devil magic that's going to turn eventually. But anyway, what are we going to say?
Chuck Dominguez has it right. He says, I like O.J. Simpson more than Travis.
Okay. Is it because of the Naked Gun movies? Is it because of that? David Martinez, fuck the cheese. Hell yeah. He's an empty shell of his
Hey!
former self, loving Kelsey's
Simpson.
fall. You know, free David Martinez,
OJ
free
Simpson,
the.
did, OJ Simpson did drive a Bronco, so that makes sense for Cook Dominguez.
All right, fair enough. David Martinez, free the dude that involved children who got hurt in that accident. Lol. Yeah, I mean, dude should have done hard time in prison. That was nuts. And again, he fled the scene. I heard somebody say something that was interesting about the Chiefs and Travis Kelce, and relating to this scene, to this play. And you remember last week against the Chargers, he had like a touchdown basically, but he just didn't catch the ball. It was basically the same play, but instead of throwing the ball up, he just dropped it. Like it could have been intercepted, but it wasn't. And it was like maybe it was Chris Sims, and they were discussing like, well, should he have retired? Is he a detriment to the Chiefs now? And Chris Sims was like, Travis Kelce wanted a redo of the Super Bowl. He basically just wanted to come back, redo the Super Bowl, and walk out, on top of the world. He kind of forgot that there's an entire season to go. You start 0-0 again. And so this kind of similar to how the Lions started last week, they just wanted a redo of the playoffs, and they got a reality check. Like, no, it starts 0-0. You need to start from scratch, earn every single yard. So could this be a wake-up call? Maybe. They have a get-right game if they take it against the Giants, but, who knows?
Let's be for real. The Chiefs are not out. They're gonna find a way. They still have freaking Andy Reid over there. They got Mahomes. They'll figure something out. But it is enjoyable while it's lasting. This catastrophe of a team.
Of course, they're losers. They're at the bottom of the barrel. They'll never be good again.
They're at the bottom of the division.
They're under the Raiders. Okay?
Ew.
The Raiders are a better team than you, Chiefs. Suck on that. Anyway, continuing. We have the Minnesota Vikings getting, the ever-living hell beaten out of them by the Atlanta Falcons. So, this was a really, 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 really bad game for the Vikings for many reasons. First off, their new quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, injured, probably out 2 to 4 weeks. We'll get to J.J. McCarthy in a minute.
That's a great reaction picture.
Right? That he's getting strip sacked in this picture right there. The Falcons defense looked pretty gnarly. Center Ryan Kelly maybe out with a concussion. Left tackle Justin School, who's, by the way, the backup to their starting left tackle Christian Darrisaw, also out with a concussion probably. And running back Aaron Jones has a hamstring, likely out for this week. So they got injured to shit. Not only did they get their asses kicked, they're injured to hell. So a lot of people are asking now, J.J. McCarthy, bust? We've seen him play 8 quarters of football. He's only had 1 good quarter. 11 out of 21 for this game, 158 yards, 5 rushes for 25 yards, 2 INTs, 2 fumbles, which were recovered by the Falcons, and got sacked 6 times. So I'm going to defend the kid a little bit here. First off, short week. They played Monday Night Football, and then they played Sunday Night Football here. So back-to-back primetime games, shorter week than the Falcons. Second, your starting left tackle, injured. Your center got injured early in the game, I believe in the first half. Third, he had his first kid this week. So he spent a lot of time in the hospital. I'm assuming he did not go through his normal routine. I'm assuming he probably did not sleep the way he usually sleeps before a game.
Congratulations on the kid.
Congratulations. Third, the Falcons pass rush looks for real. Like, again, 6 sacks in the game. So a lot of things combining that leads to a poor performance for the kid. Again, did not look good. It's really bad that he appears to be injury prone, but I would not, hit the panic button yet. You have Carson Wentz, who's the most exciting man in the NFL and who will be taking the lead. Carson Wentz is playing for the Minnesota Vikings next week.
How many teams is he being on at this point?
He was with the Eagles, the Colts, the Chiefs, Vikings. Those are the ones that I know for sure.
My God, wasn't he with the Bears at some point?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem like I don't think he's ever been that desperate. I don't think anybody's ever been that desperate. Anyway, even Fitzpatrick, I don't think he even played for the Bears. So, again, not good game. In fact, very bad game. But hopefully after his recovery, he turns things around. Anyway, on the other side of the field, Michael Penix looked pretty good. Okay. Good enough to win. 13 out of 21, 135 yards. Got sacked 3 times. Bijan Robinson, 22 rush yards, 143 yards, 3 receptions for 25 yards. The star of the game, I mean, the Minnesota defense looks nasty. Nasty. They managed to hold the Falcons down for as long as possible. I mean, they kept this game interesting for the majority of it, only limiting them to field goals. And the star of this game is actually their brand new kicker, John Parker Romo, who went 5 out of 5. Like, I don't know if you saw the interview they had after the game. He hadn't met most of his teammates. So he literally met Malcolm Floyd while they were interviewing him. He's like, oh, this is your teammate. Malcolm Floyd's like, oh, nice to meet you. So Young Hoi Koo appears to be on the...
He was put out to pasture.
Pretty much, yeah. Next, we have...
Also, just real quick, because I love having a ChatGPT just give me random information. Carson Wentz has played for the Philadelphia Eagles, the Colts, the Commanders,
Oh, I didn't know
the
that.
Rams,
Oh,
the Chiefs, and now the Vikings.
okay, so it's his 15. Who do the Vikings play this week? It's gonna be okay. The Vikings play the Bengals. So it's 2 teams without their starting quarterback.
I like it.
It's fair, right? Like the gods find a way to balance things out. The football gods are cruel yet fair sometimes.
The game just became way more interesting.
In the worst way possible. Next,
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, the first of the 2 doubleheaders. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers surviving the Houston Texans, 19-20. This game was very exciting at first, then very, very boring for the second and third quarter, then extremely exciting at the end. Basically, pretty much, Baker Mayfield put the team on his back. They tried to kill the man. They tried to kill him. He got sacked 4 times. I don't know why the refs are cool with Baker getting the shit kicked out of him. Like, I don't know why. Like, other quarterbacks, you just breathe on them, flag. Baker Mayfield, they could, I don't know, stomp his helmet, and they'd be like, oh, that's not a flag. Baker wanted it. He deserved it or whatever. I don't know.
You know who Baker reminds me of like an anime protagonist. You know?
Okay.
He reminds me of like the Demon Slayer protagonist. He seems like a genuine good guy. And you know, he probably shows up every day and brings cookies for everybody. And he just saved like 3 puppies on the way there.
I mean, I don't know.
So seeing him get beat up just makes him more lovable.
Oh, but I think our Pop's in here. Hey, Pop. I'm assuming. LG boy, Baker Mayfield is legit, man. I don't know why the Browns let him go. Dude, you know what's really funny?
Because they're the Browns.
You know what's really funny? Not only did the Browns try to kill him and let him go, the Carolina Panthers let him go. And you know who else the Carolina Panthers let go? Sam Darnold. So, 2 dudes who are now making a pretty good living, starting for 2 pretty good organizations, got let go by 2 of the shittiest organizations in the NFL. And that's just, honestly, good for them. Good for them.
And the Carolina Panthers did not let them go. They set them free.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, this at the end it was just Baker magic. On the other hand, CJ Stroud, they also tried to kill him. 3 sacks. He was 13 out of 24, 207 yards, 1 TD. This is a tale of 2 teams. It's very interesting because this is the Texans starting O-line, On the other hand, the Buccaneers O-line should get better because Tristan Wirfs is not playing yet. So when he comes back, theoretically, the O-line for the Buccaneers will get better. But the O-line for the Texans, this is what it is. This is what CJ Stroud can expect the rest of the way. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they should do something different. Because they're gonna
run for his life.
They're gonna kill that man. It's not good. Also, the head coach lost this game. There was a point in the fourth quarter when they were at the 1 yard line and they were stopped on third down. They could have had a field goal, but they went for it and they got stopped. And so the Buccaneers had the ball, and so they managed to get a field goal later, and then the Buccaneers had another the game-winning field goal and all that stuff. So if they would have just gone for the field goal when they had the chance to get the game closer, they would have won. But they didn't. I don't know why. I get why. I get why coaches want to be aggressive and all that stuff, but dude, when your offense is just not rolling, just give them the points. Like if they legitimately would have gotten that field goal, they would have won the game probably. So I don't know. Stupid is as stupid does, I guess.
Well, they won. What was the final score?
19-20.
Oh yeah, they win.
Yeah, they would have won. That is, I don't get it. I don't get why teams don't go for field goals. It drives me nuts. Like, it drives me nuts when the Lions do it, but the Lions have, maybe the most powerful offense in the NFL for the last few seasons. I get it when the Eagles do it. It drives me nuts, but again, they have the tush push, which is bullshit. So why would the Texans do it? I don't know. They criticized. Oh, speaking of, the final game of the week, the Chargers beating, dominating, embarrassing, owning the Las Vegas Raiders at home, 20-9. So yeah, there was actually similar criticism about this game that the Chargers made all the way to the 1 yard line and they weren't able to punch it in, and so they went for a field goal. And they were like, why would they do that? Why did they just go for it on fourth down? It's like, because they made it a 2-score game with that field goal. You take the points. And this was a very conservative game for the Chargers because the defense was just dominating the entire time. So before we get into the game proper, we'll get into the kind of controversy of the game, which is Mr. Thomas Brady being in the Raiders coach's booth with a headset on. So actually, the commentators mentioned something pretty interesting, that Tom Brady talks to the offensive coordinator of the Raiders like 2 or 3 times a week, Chip Kelly. And so it's one of those things that you're like, dude, how is that not a fucking conflict of interest? This dude is a color commentator for Fox. He gets access to information for other teams, but he's also an owner for the Raiders, and he's in the coach's booth, and he talks to the offensive coordinator of that team regularly. And so it's one of those things like, listen, I want to make this clear. 100% not Tom's fault. If they give you an opportunity to get one over another team, you fucking take it. I get it. This is really bad on Fox's part for letting him do it, and really bad on the NFL for letting him do it. Because it's total freaking BS. It's really bad for Fox. It's really bad for the NFL. Because again, I don't know if you know how this works, but usually whoever's calling a game interviews the coaches and the coordinators for the other teams before a game. They talk to players. They sometimes visit the facilities. They get access to other stuff. And this guy's regularly talking to the offensive coordinator of the Raiders. So if I'm a team that has to play the Raiders this season, I'm not letting anybody from Fox, not just Tom Brady, anybody from Fox, anywhere near my building or my guys, or giving them anything, which is detrimental to the product that Fox puts out on the field or puts out on air. Because, again, let's say you're, I don't know, the Chiefs. The Chiefs will play the Raiders. And they have a primetime game on Fox. It's being called by somebody else, but they have a primetime game on Fox. Are you going to let anybody from Fox come into your facility knowing that they'll probably talk to Tom Brady at some point? You will not, and Tom Brady's going to talk to Chip Kelly and give him whatever, any information you can get is a benefit to the other team, any information. So I would not allow anybody from Fox anywhere near my building. Or I would just tell my coaches, do it on the phone and give them the most vanilla, basic answers you can. So what are you going to say?
Well, I guess you could pull a Friends and be like, they don't know that we know. They know we know.
Yeah.
So, feed them bad info.
Which is, again, bad for the product that Fox is putting on air. It's a bad look. I think it's a bad look for the NFL. It's a bad look for Tom Brady. It's a bad look for Fox. So I honestly, at least Chargers, don't let anybody from Fox anywhere near your building. Anywhere. And if you have an interview with them, don't give them nothing. And I mean nothing, because it will maybe, possibly end up with Tom Brady discussing it with Chip Kelly. So there you go.
To be fair, aren't they broadcasting all that information anyways?
It's different. It's different for them to broadcast it on air than to tell the offensive coordinator. All right. It's very, very different. The offensive coordinator of another team. Because let's say, for example, sometimes, have you ever watched the movie and then somebody tells you, oh, did you notice that they did this and this and this? And then you watch it again, you're like, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, I can see it now. So it's very different after the game is done than before the game takes place. Does that make sense?
Sure. Although with Tom Brady, it would be like having, watching a movie with, like, I don't know, Steven Spielberg or something, and he points out stuff where it's like, was it because he had prior information, or is it because he's freaking Tom Brady and he probably already knew everything your team was going to do?
So you don't give him the extra advantage.
Fair enough.
Yeah, all right. LG boy, the Chargers defense showed up big time. Hell yeah, we're going to talk about the defense. And thoughts on Hampton so far. We're going to talk about Hampton too. So let's get into the game. First off, quarterback Justin Herbert. 19 out of 27, 242 yards, 2 TDs. God lucky he didn't get intercepted at the end of the game. 9 rushes for 31 yards. There was a point where he was like 18 for 20 something. He was on a hot streak there. Got sacked twice, and he also fumbled the ball. Apparently they called that on Justin Herbert. I think it's more Crosby did a hell of a play, but whatever. So Justin Herbert looked good. Overall, not great, but you could tell that the game was kind of conservative because the defense was just dominating the ever-living hell out of the Raiders. But before we get to the defense, well, actually, talking about the defense, tragedy hit. Khalil Mack injured, elbow injury. It looked really bad. However, he was out on the field again with this arm sling. If he was in very, very, very bad shape, I don't think he would have gone back out there. I think he would have gone straight to the hospital or something. So I looked.
Any news?
I looked for news today. I didn't see anything. The best case scenario, it's just a dislocated elbow. He'll be out for 4 weeks, and then he'll play with a brace for the rest of the season. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, we don't have any information as of this point, but losing Khalil Mack is a big deal. It wasn't as big of a deal in this game because the defense, again, was playing lights out, but still, Khalil Mack is the engine. Well, I don't know if it's between him and Derwin James. Like, I'd say one's the engine, one's kind of like the heart and soul, but still, it would be bad. However, the defense, in spite of that, looked extremely good. They sacked Geno Smith 3 times. They intercepted him 3 times. Geno Smith, 24 to 43 for 180 yards, 5 rushes for 20 yards. He did not have a single pass over 10 yards. So they were just throttling them the entire game. There was a point where the Raiders had a 20-play drive, and it ended in a field goal. They ate up like 11 minutes of the clock, and they only got a field goal out of it. It was nuts. The defense looked phenomenal all three levels. The pass rush up front, they were killing the man. The defenders in the middle, they were stopping the run kind of, and then the DBs in the back, they were lights out. Again, maybe they got away with 1 or 2 holds or pass interference, but I think they would have still won the game anyway. Like, it wasn't like they lost because of 1 score. No, they won by 2 scores. Now, going back to answer your question for Hampton, after watching this game, my conclusion is that they need to use Najee Harris more. Najee Harris, numbers don't show it. 8 rushes for 28 yards, 2 receptions for 20 yards, but you can tell last season, you could tell that they were trying to figure out who their number 1 guy was, and J.K. Dobbins ended up elevating himself and setting himself apart. Right now, it's looking like Najee Harris is the better of the 2 backs, which makes sense. He's a little bit more patient. He can see the field a little bit better. What was that? Did you hear that?
Oh, I had a video of the highlights for the Chargers. I want to see a play.
Okay. And at the end of the game, when they needed to close it out, dude just ran for 5-6 yards several times. In fact, he did one play that it ended up coming back and because it was a penalty, but he ran the ball for 6 yards, got the first down, and then he slid. And I was like, that is a selfless freaking player. He could have kept going, try to pad his numbers or whatever. He was like, no, this is what my team needs to win. So he's apparently a team player. It's a hammer, dude. Now, I don't know if it's because Omarion Hampton was beating the ever-living hell for 3 quarters because he played the majority of the snaps. And then at the end, it was Najee Harris that got him soft and just, demoralized and finished them off. But as of right now, I like Najee Harris more. When they were in 1st and goal, I was like, get Najee Harris. And I know they want to give the kid a touchdown. I know it. They think it's going to get his all his confidence up, and they need to break the seal to see how good he can really be. And he's been close to popping a few good ones, but he's not there yet. Najee Harris is a proven commodity, and he's bigger. Najee Harris is over 240 yards. I'm sorry, 240 pounds. Omarion Hampton is 220. You have a sledgehammer. Use him. So I think that from this game, it's starting to become clearer that Najee Harris, again, Najee Harris did not participate all the offseason. He was out with the eye thing. Maybe they're trying to ease him into it. But I think the Broncos game is a good time for Najee Harris to take the number 1 spot and let Omarion Hampton ease into it. So imagine the other way around. You have Najee Harris that's beating the ever-living hell out of defenders, 3 quarters. And then in quarter number 4, you get the speedy, also really big dude. Omarion Hampton's 220 pounds. That's not a small dude. So you have the big sledgehammer, 3 quarters, and then you have the smaller, faster sledgehammer on the final quarter. I think it's time to move on to that, to give it a shot. If they think Najee Harris is ready to become the number 1 guy, to take the majority of the snaps, which I think they are. However, Omarion Hampton has been very good in protecting Justin Herbert. So I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is. I'm assuming they're easing Najee into it, but right now, like the eye test, Najee Harris is clearly the better of the 2 backs, in my humble opinion. Tourgay Kaglar, Justin Herbert, a boom. Geno Smith, a bust. Najee must be RB1. I also like Keenan a lot for Raiders. I only like Genty's energy. So, Keenan Allen. Keenan freaking Allen. Slayer. I am so happy to have Keenan Allen back.
I miss that guy.
It's just the safety blanket, would you say? When it's 4th down and the ball's going in Keenan's direction, you're like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Now, Herbert had a few bad throws and stuff, but still, in generally speaking, you trust Keenan Allen to get open in those situations, and he will catch the ball. And in the worst case scenario, he's attracting a lot of attention because 3rd and Keenan is a thing. So he opens up other guys. So I'm very happy to see him back in the fold. I thought that the Bears did him a disservice, and actually it's a good thing, because if the Bears would have used him properly, he would have had more points, or he would have played better, and so other teams would have maybe wanted to steal him from us. But no, because they fucked up, we ended up getting him back, which is great. Again, one of my favorite Chargers of all time. Super weird dude, but extremely reliable. So honestly, I think that was kind of like the move of the offseason for the Chargers, getting Keenan Allen back, because it completely changes the passing game. Completely changes it. Imagine that the wide receiver 2 or 3 would have been one of the 2 rookies who are starting to, Trey Harris is starting to look okay, but he's no Keenan Allen. And especially
Quentin Johnston's starting to get some hands.
Quentin Johnston is getting opportunities, because the touchdown that he had, not only did he get free really quickly, and the route was actually pretty fun. Like, it looked like he was going to cross it and then went back. But do you see what the other defenders were busy with? Keenan and Ladd down short. And so they attract a lot of attention. These 2 dudes are slippery. And so they demand extra attention from the defenders. So it's honestly, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from the team, particularly the defense. The defense looks lights out. Perryman didn't play. Mack got injured in the first quarter. Elijah Molden didn't play. By the way, I'm so happy that Tony Jefferson is still on the team. Tony Jefferson, that dude makes plays when he's on the field. He can't go back to the practice squad. Unk needs to stay on the field. He's a San Diego boy. He needs to be representing. And I honestly, right now, the weakest part of the Chargers is their running game. And I'm pretty sure that they'll get that going eventually. It's going to be something that starts to go up. Because again, I've seen Najee, man. He busts down 5-6 yards, just knocking down fools. Like, we can see it. They just need to unleash him a little more. So it's got the potential. They just haven't gone down that road yet. It's early in the season. They played conservative against the Raiders. I get it. Maybe they're hiding the playbook for the Broncos because they're planning on running against the Broncos, because you can run against the Broncos. I don't know. But it's exciting, man. It's
Where are they playing against the Broncos?
Home. I'm actually going to be at that game, which is, concerning, because whenever I've gone to a Chargers game with my now wife, well, no, then girlfriend, they always lose. Maybe the wife wins. I don't know.
You've never been with your wife.
No, not to a Chargers game, no. Actually, if what's up?
I've always seen the Chargers kick the Broncos' ass live, so I'm free and just saying.
I'll tell you're staying home. You're staying home. We're doing this for the Chargers. G boy, how long is Perryman out for? I don't know. He's not on IR, so it should be less than 4 weeks. There, Martinez. The dynamic of our weapons sucks for fantasy, but it's great for football. Super stoked. Yes, they spread it around. They spread the ball around. They have a lot of ball catchers. I think things are going to change because, we're getting really deep into the Chargers, but fuck it, I'm a Chargers fan, and this is what you're here for. So the Chargers have not been using their tight end Tucker Fist, who is just a mountain of a man. And I think we're going to reach a point where they're going to not activate one of the wide receivers, maybe Trey Harris or KLS. They're not going to activate one of them, and they're going to activate Tucker Fisk. And when they activate Tucker Fist, that's when our run game is really going to get going, because it's having another 300-pounder there to move the line for you. So I think the game plan for the Raiders and for the Chiefs was passing. The game plan for the Broncos will probably be pounding the ball. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm just, I'm happy. We're 2-0 against divisional rivals. That's divisional wins count for 2. We're on top of the AFC West comfortably because again, 2 divisional wins. It's looking pretty good out in Chargers land.
Especially when we beat the Dirty Donkeys 3-0.
Dude, don't say that. Don't jinx
All
it.
division wins.
Listen, nothing would make me happier. Because again, I'm gonna be there. I'm planning on being there. So it would be the greatest thing ever to see the Donkeys fall. And right now they look beatable. The Colts laid down the blueprint on how to beat them. So all we need to do is follow it. But that's for our pick show. We'll save it for another time. Actually, I said we're gonna aim for stopping at 10. It's 10:30, so I think it's a good time to stop. Eric, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I think you covered pretty much most of it. It feels weird to be so optimistic about the Chargers, but
Well,
here we are. It's week 2,
it-
and I'm having a damn good time.
It's chargering is a thing, and at times during the Chiefs game and during the Raiders game, it felt like they were going to charger, like particularly halftime against the Chiefs, and then when they had the stupid fumble against the Raiders, but no, the defense was like, not today. Not today, Satan. We don't do that here. We don't do that anymore. And they closed out both games with the rock in their hands. So it's a new era. It's the dawn of the Harbaugh era, and we're ahead of schedule. I thought they needed one more draft, at least one more draft, for them to actually be a contender, an elite team. Right now, again, it's only week 2, but it's week 2 against divisional rivals. Those count for 2. So it's like we're in week 4 already.
If you had to put a top 10, would the Chargers be on the top 10 right now?
So now we're stopping this. All right. Do you want me to do a top 10 or were you just asking for fun?
Try it.
Okay, so off the top of my head, let me think. The Green Bay Packers look just freaking unstoppable, so the Packers would probably be 1.
Bills?
Number 2 is the Bills. Yeah, in a head-to-head matchup, I don't like the odds against the Bills. The Ravens look beatable, but still, I think overall, it's not the same thing stopping Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I need to actually see them do it.
Eagles?
The Eagles don't scare me as much, but again, I don't think they've actually unleashed their offense. I'm actually more scared of a healthy Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because again, the Buccaneers, it's a bad matchup for the Chargers. They beat the ever-living hell out of them. So once they're fully, again, they don't have Chris Godwin and they don't have their starting left tackle. Once they're at full force, they might be unstoppable. But again, it's right now they've kept them close, but they've won. Then the Eagles.
I'm looking at, it's funny. I'm looking at the NFC West because they have 3 teams that are 2-0, 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would put any of them on the top 10.
Let me think. So right now I got the Eagles. How far am I? 5?
5.
Okay. Then I put the Chargers. I think the Chargers are below the Eagles. I want to put the Lions in there, but
They just showed a lot of signs of life, but they got their ass whipped last week.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
And they didn't win against the Bears.
So I'll put them below because again, it's who you beat, right?
The Colts?
Then no, the Rams. That defense
All right.
looks gnarly and looks like they may be starting to get some chemistry on offense. Then who do I like? I don't know about the Colts, man. I don't know if I believe yet. How far am I? Am I like 8?
There's 8. 2 more.
Okay.
Maybe, I hate to say it, but Falcons?
Okay, Falcons or Colts? Let me think.
I prefer the Colts.
I know you do. But if they go head to head, I think I'll give it to the Falcons. Because I don't know about the Colts yet. I'm not sure yet. They did get lucky that the Broncos were stupid and they held on to a player. So and then the Colts. just for, the hell of it. But yeah, that would probably be my top 10 as of this moment.
It's a weird top 10, and I no doubt in 2 weeks is going to be completely different.
Oh, definitely. It's week 2, man. You remember last year when the freaking Saints had scored like 90 points in the first 2 weeks, and then they just went to shit, and their head coach got fired midway through the season? Remember that? This game is...
Hey, when Derek Carr looked like the GOAT all of a sudden?
Yeah, let me see. G-Boy says, buenas noches. Chuck Dominguez says, Broncos need to get rid of Lutz. Is he really that bad? I think, how many has he missed this year? I don't know. Dale Martinez says, I think the Patriots will sneak in. Listen, I'll tell you one thing the Patriots have that other teams don't. A healthy quarterback. So they have one up against the Jets on that arena. They have one up against the Bengals in that arena. So we'll see. It's not the craziest thing in the world, this is my point. And I think they have an easy schedule. But that's it for today. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. We'll do our picks and upload them hopefully tomorrow, if not early Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to work it out. Next Tuesday, I have a late softball game, so we're gonna have to do the live early. Are you okay to do it early?
Yeah, now that I know ahead of time.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll talk. We'll talk. Okay.
We'll talk.
Again, like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. If we reach 10,000 subs by the end of the season, something cool will happen that I still need to think about. And we're open to suggestions, by the way. Oh, yeah, let's missed a 42-yarder. Yeah, that's bad. That's happened a lot this season.
It's going to be 10,000 related. So Dario's going to do 10,000 of something, or he's going to eat 10,000 of something.
Rice.
Or, he's going to pay 10,000...
pennies.
Oh, that would be good for the league. Do it for the league.
All right, I'll think about it. As always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.